Hello everyone, we'll start in a minute. We are just waiting for all participants to join. Hello everyone, we'll start in maybe a couple of minutes as we have still a lot of participants joining, and we are expecting probably more than 100 participants today. So for those who have joined us, thank you to be with us already on time, and we'll just start in a couple of minutes. Okay, I think we can start. We have almost, I think we have 100 participants online. We know we have more who will be joining in a few minutes. But thanks to all of you to join us today. So this is our second webinar. Today we are going to focus on technology and financial inclusion in Tajikistan with a case study of Humo and HumoLab. So for those of you who are new to Gojo and new to Humo, Humo recently joined Gojo as one of our new partners. And Humo is obviously, many of you know, historically a leading microfinance institution in Tajikistan, but with now very dynamic, you will see today, and very relevant fintech development under the name of Humo Lab. I'm not going to disclose a lot more because we have a full webinar and we'll have the team of Humo presenting that. So let me first introduce our speaker. We still have a lot of people joining, so I'm going slowly so we can have more people joining us as I speak. We have more than 115 participants online. So we will really focus this webinar, and I'm sure a lot of you who are in the microfinance sector will find this interesting. We'll focus our webinar on how a microfinance institution can launch a neobank, or what are the recipe, what works well. All of you have heard, or many of you have heard of neobanks and fintech and digital banking in the last few years. And with Humo, we have a fantastic example of how a traditional microfinance institutions can ride this wave of digital financial inclusion and can launch a leading neobank in its market. As Firdavs will tell us in a few minutes, Humo Lab is now one of the leading neobank in Tajikistan. So we'll discuss not only Tajikistan and microfinance, but we'll also look at how technology can enable a microfinance institution to do more than microfinance, and generally we'll discuss how to drive innovation in microfinance. This is the overall agenda. So after my short introduction, Taejun will introduce Gojo in a few minutes. Then Firdavs Mayunusov, the CEO of Humo, will introduce Humo, and Firdavs Nuriddinzoda will introduce HumoLab. Then we'll have a panel discussion that I will moderate, and then I will propose you to move to a specific Zoom session where we can have interaction. You can have interactions with the speakers. So we'll do that at the conclusion for 20 minutes. I'm not going to introduce myself, but in short, I joined Gojo as an advisor 2 years ago and as a managing partner last year. And I'm supporting the development of the business globally. Taejun has founded Gojo in 2014. And before founding Gojo, he has worked in private equity in Japan, while being strongly involved in a not-profit organization and launching an NGO in Japan and a microfinance fund in Japan. Taejun is a YGL from the World Economic Forum and a board member of Endeavor. Then we'll have Firdavs, the CEO of Humo. So Humo is one of the leading microfinance bank in Tajikistan, as I mentioned, spin-off from Care International. And Firdavs has led, participated to the leadership of Humo since the beginning with a strong focus on finance, risk, IT before becoming the CEO. And he supported launching HumoLab. He led HumoLab together with Firdavs. We have two Firdavs, so I'm going to say Firdavs M and Firdavs N to make it easier for everyone. And so Firdavs N is the director of HumoLab and is leading this fintech program, this neobank I was mentioning at the introduction. So without having you wait more, I will propose Taejun right away to take the lead and to introduce Gojo in a few minutes.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar. And again, I'm Taejun Shin. I'm the founder and the CEO of Gojo and Company. We started the journey in 2014 July to make the private sector version of the World Bank. And let me very briefly explain what we are doing right now. So before starting, let me briefly explain the financial inclusion. So there are two words, similar words. One is financial access and another is financial inclusion. There are roughly 4 billion people living in developing nations. And among them, the 40% of people don't have even financial access, which means that they don't have even bank accounts at formal financial institutions. And it is said that still 80%, roughly 80% of the people don't have access to financial inclusion. And the definition of financial inclusion is that you have access to useful and affordable financial services. And among those who are financially excluded people, 70% of these people don't own smartphones. And Tajikistan is different, but overall, the literacy level in developing nations on average is 70%. That means 30% of the people don't read and write. And when it comes to financially excluded segment, it is said that 40 to 50% of the people have difficulty, especially adult population, have difficulty in writing and reading. And that is a reality. So what is Gojo? So Gojo is a holding company focusing on financial inclusion. We are a group of experts in private equity, finance, tech, management, design. We raise capital, so we are not a fund. We raise capital as a permanent capital, and we acquire majority stake or establish from scratch the group of microfinance institutions in developing nations. And we sometimes delegate, we sometimes operate these companies such that we can provide better services for our end users who are low-income households in developing nations. So in a nutshell, the money, capital money flows from Gojo to local financial institutions. And from country to country, the channel is slightly different, but at Humo and some other institutions, we offer 3 channels for our customers, given the literacy level of them. So one is staff, another is agents, and one more is online, according to the literacy level or the digital literacy level of our customers. So we provide financial service for them, and then we get interest and fee, and that's how we make profit at the consolidated level. Now we have a presence in 5 countries: Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Tajikistan, and India, with 8 group companies. Among them, 6 companies are consolidated financially. So we are the fastest growing microfinance group in the history of microfinance. That last November, our unique customers, mostly borrowers, reached 1 million. This is the fastest pace. We achieved this in just 7 years and 4 months since the establishment. Just for your information, Grameen Bank achieved this after 17 years since the establishment. So we are very grateful for what we have achieved so far, despite many challenges until today, especially COVID. And also our default ratio has been much lower than the peers. It has been lower than 0.3% continuously before COVID. And even after COVID, it has never reached 3%. It's now hovering around 2.5%. And we are all grateful for what we have achieved with all the group companies people. So today, yeah, we have Humo, which just recently joined as a group. And among many microfinance institutions in the world, Humo is really ahead of many other peers in terms of its usage of technology. So as the Firdavs will explain later, Humo is the 5th largest bank in Tajikistan, as well as a leading fintech player in the nation. And their plan is to be the major player, not just in Tajikistan, but also in Central Asia. So let me finish here, and let us move on to the presentation from Humo people. Thank you.
Thank you, Taejun. Thank you very much. Firdavs, I'm going to hand over to you right now, but before I do so, to the 140 participants we have online now, please don't hesitate to ask questions in the Q&A box, as either I will help the speaker to address those questions as they speak, or we'll take that during the panel discussion later. So please go ahead with any questions you have about Gojo or Humo during the presentations. Firdavs, let me hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Arnaud. Just a minute, please. My presentation is sharing now. So if we'll talk about Humo, so our company was created in 2005, and at that time we were created as a public non-commercial fund. So in Tajikistan there are 3 types of microfinance institutions according to our law. First is micro lending fund, which is not commercial. Second is commercial microcredit organizations, which can provide just loans. And third type is microcredit deposit taking organizations, which can provide all types of banking services. There are some limits, but I will explain you later. So next slide, please. According to this law, we went through all of these 3 types of companies. So in 2008, we created daughter company, commercial company, microcredit organization, Humo and Partners, and the purpose was that in order to keep further growth and attract additional shareholders, we need to have commercial company. So after that, in 2013, we created a microcredit deposit taking organization, and next year we attracted first foreign shareholders to our company. So according to the law, microcredit deposit taking organizations can provide full range of banking services, but there are some limitations on the size of loans. For example, we can provide loans to individual people up to $22,000, and for legal companies up to $44,000. And we can provide all other services, including opening current accounts, deposits, foreign exchange operation, money transfers, and etc. In 2017, we started thinking about digital transformation, and we created Humo Lab structure, and we'll talk about it later. And next year, we launch our payment system and mobile bank. This system were purchased from vendors, and we got some experience using the systems. And also in that year, we launched our first lending platform. We call it Quick Loans, and we developed easy loan application for our loan officers, and it allowed us to reduce providing loans to customers from 3 days down to 1 hour. And our experience shows that the main factor of success is to provide services as soon as possible. So the speed of change for systems which are related to customer service was crucial, and we decided that we will develop such systems by ourselves, just because of vendors at that time couldn't provide such a support according to our needs. And in 2019, we created our first agile team, which was involved in development of our in-house mobile application. And in 2019 and 2020, we launched joint mobile wallet with the biggest mobile network operator in Tajikistan, Megaphone. So also we launched Humo transfer application, which allows money remittances from card to card, cross-border money transfers. And after 1 year after creation of first agile team, we were able to launch first version of, let's say second version of our in-house developed mobile wallet, Humo Online, and Firdavs, Nuriddinzoda. We'll talk about it later. And last year in 2021, we developed a new platform, which is next stage of quick loans. We call it Orzu. Orzu means dream. So our slogan is from dream to reality, and dream is the name of our platform. Also, in order to increase our financial inclusion, we launched separate project for working with agents, banking agents. And next slide, we currently have 75 offices, and we, including 24 branches, we opened accounts for more than 100,000 unique customers. And our team is more than 1,000 employees, including about 70 employees at HumoLab, with 59 million active portfolio. We are, as already was indicated, we are on the 5th place among banks, and we are on the 2nd place among microfinance institutions in Tajikistan. Next, please. And we follow our social mission. We provide financial services mostly in rural areas, and more than 75% of our active portfolio located in rural areas. And we support women customers. More than 42% of our customers are women. And during the last 2 years, we are #1 on customer services among 14 banks and microfinance institutions. And this survey was conducted by a third-party research company. And next slide, if we'll talk about HumoLab. So the main goal of creation of HumoLab was to improve data management and improve managerial information from one end, and to improve our customer service from another end. And previously we had problems, and we had separate accounting and loan origination systems, and all the systems were decentralized. So all branches, they had separate accounts, and we were able to consolidate all this information from branch and from all systems on monthly basis. It means that just one time per month we could see clear picture of our company, which was very bad situation at that time. And from another hand, our customer service also was at poor level, but it was applied not just for Humo, but for all banks and microfinance institutions at that period. So average period, average time for getting loan for customers could take up to 2 weeks, which was very long. And due to the low financial inclusion in our country, customers had to wait for such period just because of demand for loans and for financial services were very high. And we decided that we have to improve the situation, and we had another problems that attraction of developers and the young generation was problem just because of they had other cultures that we had at that time, and these young people they have their own culture, so they hate dress code that we have in banking services, and they don't follow banking procedures. They need more freedom and open space for communication. So we decided to divide office. We created separate office for HumoLab, and we launched innovative culture there. And we have specific goals and specific methodologies of working at HumoLab. So we implement Agile, Scrum framework, and we also use Kanban. So in next video, you can see some pictures of our HumoLab, and Firdavs can talk about our products. Please, next slide.
Thank you very much, Aki Firdavs. Hello, everybody. My name is Firdavs Nuriddinzoda. I'm head of HumoLab. Today, I want to talk about our digital products, and I want to start from Humo Online product. What is a Humo Online? Humo Online is our strategic product. It's a mobile application platform. It's one of the main tools to communicate with our customers in digital channel. Basically, Humo Online has three big models, big parts. First of all, it's about payments and P2P transfers. Clients can pay anything like bills, mobile phones, utilities, and something like these services. And also client can pay in supermarket or restaurants through QR code. Second part is a banking model where clients can use his banking products, manage their banking cards and control their banking accounts. For example, clients can get online loan in less than 1 minute. It's a unique product in Tajikistan, and we use this advantage now. Third part, it's about users and personalization for users, because our ultimate goal is providing best user experience and customer experience in Tajikistan, and maybe in other Central Asia region in future. These are basic functions that we have been working on for the past few years, and we will continue to develop and improve them. Next slide, please. We are also thinking and moving towards a super app where where our customer, in addition to financial service, can use non-financial service too. We have already taken the first steps in this direction and added 2 services now. First, it's integrated with insurance company where can sell his products, and also in second, we added cool functionality for purchase cinema tickets directly from our application. And we are first in Tajikistan who provide feature like this, and we believe that provide feature like buy cinema tickets directly from applications, one of the way increase financial literacy and financial inclusion, because such service increase user engagement, and they include very user-friendly financial service also. In the next part of our ecosystem, is the next slide, I want to talk about Humo Transfer platform. It's very simple application. Humo Transfer, it's very simple application for our customers, most focused for our labor migrants, which get opportunity to do cross-border money remittance from card to card by phone number and by card number also. If you know that the economy of Tajikistan is heavily dependent on remittance, and 2 years ago, card transfer began to increase in Tajikistan. And now we see that more than 40% of money transfer in Tajikistan are made through cards. We were one of the first company who launched this product in Tajikistan at that time, and still developing it and evolving it. At that time, when we launched Humo Transfer, our word transfer only between Russia and Tajikistan. Last year, so in the end of last year, we also added Uzbekistan country also, and we have planning to add other sales countries in future. In the next slide, we can see how this application look. Next slide, please. This application look like this, and how we see is a very simple and convenient application for users. Next part of our ecosystem, it's HumoPay platform. Next slide, please. What's the HumoPay? HumoPay, it's payment processing and payment aggregator system platform that consists of several parts. First part, it is direct integration with most popular service providers. These services are distributed to the platform participant. Second part, it's cashing terminals, it's self-service terminals where a client can pay bill payment, mobile phone balance, and the loan payment with cash. Also, so in third part, we launch agency banking model based on HumoPay platform, and we grow it. Fourth part, next part of HumoPay, in HumoPay platform include also one of the type cross-border money transfer functionalities. For example, where our clients can top up his debit cards in Tajikistan from Russian bank applications. It's shortly about HumoPay platform, and also I want to present for you in the next slide. I want to present for you our new loan platform also. We launched it in last year. We have a large portfolio of loan clients now, and most of them are repeat clients. Each time when clients applied new loan, it was necessary to go through all stages of obtain a loan again. And we also have several types of loan products, such as quick loans, online loans, standard loans, and installments. And each product had own credit limit. After understood the client's pains and needs his needs, we came to conclusion that it's necessary to create a platform where the client can connect once to platform and get the credit limit allowed him. After that, he can use his limits through any available channel in Humo. For example, with one credit limit, client can get cash in Humo branch or use this limit, he can get online loan. We know that many people don't have any credit history and it's difficult for them to get loans. But our payment ecosystem, which I presented before, create for our clients some financial history. We use this data. In our credit scoring, which include in our Orzu platform, and this it can help scale people who can get can get loan and can use our financial services. The next slide, I want to show short video. It's different between our online product and standard loan. Please start. How we can say that now our clients can get loan about 30 seconds. It's very fast, it's very easy and useful for our clients. It's our advantage now. And this product based on our Orzu platform. Next slide. Next slide, please. This is our digital product ecosystem. How we can see that in the center of ecosystem, it's client. And when we create any product, it's for example, online or the payment cards or something else. First of all, we think about clients, about his pain, about his need. And after that, we start develop something. And all of products which I presented before, we create with this way. Thank you for your attention, and this presentation continues. Firdavs Mayunusov. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Firdavs. So those products which were presented by Firdavs, they are just some examples. Please, next slide. Some examples, and additional to them, we have other products which we use during our day-to-day activities, including mobile application for loan officer for serving customers in the field. We have platforms for call center and for soft collection and other systems. All these systems and platforms allow us to bring financial services closer to our customers. For example, if 17 years ago there were no financial inclusion in Tajikistan at all, and clients had to come to our office to get loan or to make repayments from distant areas more than 300 kilometers. And at that time, banks were involved on serving just customers. Now these technologies contribute to improve our efficiency, improve our profitability, and also improve our customer service. And these technologies allow us to get necessary information on clients' needs, and so we can develop the products which are required by customers. And it allowed us to decrease time for providing loans from 2 weeks, which were 15 years ago, down to 30 seconds. And so we think that it is just beginning, and now our customers are able to self-serve themselves without interrupting interaction with our employees. So our employees will be involved in attracting new customers. So it also allowed us to improve financial literacy among our customers. And currently we have all resources, including people, technology, experience, and we are ready for further digital transformations. If you have any questions, please, we can discuss. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Firdavs and Firdavs. So I think we can move to the we can move straight to the panel discussion. We have 10 to 20 minutes for the panel discussion before going to an AMA. So many of you have already asked questions in the Q&A. Please don't hesitate to ask more. We will actually address most of your questions during the panel discussion. But so let me start with some of the questions that were addressed, that were asked right away. There are a few questions that are asked, and I want to start with this because it's directly in the follow-up of what you've presented, Firdavs. There are a few questions that have been asked and about specifically HumoLab, and I will ask those. So first question is HumoLab, how does HumoLab compare to other competitors in Tajikistan? Firdavs, I will let you answer that. So how does HumoLab compare with other competitors? What is the competitive advantage we have on those peers and competitors? What kind of specific technology do we have? Second question about HumoLab is more specifically about your loan product. The question was to understand the turnaround time for the loan product. So I think it's the second question about HumoLab. Then there are other questions about also, if you, as you explained, there was a question, I think it was addressed, but maybe you can start by that, reminding the difference between Humo and HumoLab for everyone to be clear. We'll start with this, and then we'll have more questions about Gojo and Humo, etc. Firdavs, I'll let Firdavs M take the lead, and maybe Firdavs N, you can complement him.
So Firdavs, you will start. Let me start. So what is the difference between HumoLab with competitors? You know, if we'll compare our company with competitors, we have banks and microfinance institutions, which they are now creating their units for developing some digital products. And we have fintech, just one fintech in our company, in our country, which is fully provide digital products, but they don't have traditional banking services. In our case, we have both traditional banking and digital banking, and we have three cultures in our system. So we have culture which we set in our branch, we have culture which we set at our head office level, and we have culture which we created for HumoLab. And we are able to integrate all these three cultures in order to implement all requirements of the National Bank of Tajikistan, and also provide innovative digital products. And we think that this is unique in Tajikistan, and we don't see any such segregation of cultures in our country. And regarding second question, as I understood correctly, no, the main product of banks and microfinance institutions are related to provision of loans, and we decided that HumoLab among two digital products will put all efforts to provide competitive advantage on the methods of loan providing. So as I mentioned in my presentation previously, it took 2 weeks to provide loan, then 3 days after that 1 hour, and now during 30 seconds we can provide loans. So I think that the main product should be fully digitalized, and customers would be able to receive the loan by themselves without applying to our employees, and we think that this is the best competitive advantage on loan products. And if we'll talk about difference between HumoLab and Humo, I already mentioned this. We have separate culture because from one side we have to follow all requirements of regulator and financial monitoring and other requirements set by FATF organization. From another side, we have to have freedom and agile. So that's why we cannot have everything in one place, and we decided that we have to mix two cultures. So currently, difference between Humo and HumoLab is HumoLab prepares products and Humo distributes these products and follow all requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Firdavs. A couple of more questions still around this topic. So there is one question, a general question about how you reach clients with low financial knowledge, and how do you prevent those clients for potentially over borrowing and be over indebted? So maybe you can address this topic both in the case of Humo, the traditional microfinance institutions, and in the case of HumoLab. And then there is a specific question, I guess, to HumoLab, but maybe you can also address it both for Humo and HumoLab and highlight the difference between the different methodology of credit assessment and credit evaluation that you use at Humo on one side and at HumoLab. So maybe we can address this, and then we have a lot more questions.
Okay, regarding financial literacy and over indebtedness, we put a lot of efforts to increase financial literacy of our customers. Previously, when we started our company, our customers didn't know about what is credit. So we had loan orientation sessions with our customers at that time. And now, in order to avoid over indebtedness, we have credit bureau in Tajikistan, and we use data from credit bureau. We have direct integration with credit bureau, and we have internal limits for providing loans, parallel loans to customers. For example, if our scoring calculates that customers can take loan up to, for example, $1,000, and he already have, for example, $600 from other company, we can provide just $400, but just one loan. We will not provide second or third loan. So our scoring system automatically checks history of the customer, transactions of the customer, and also checks information that we have at credit bureau.
Thank you, Firdavs. Still questions about Humo and HumoLab. Taejun, don't worry, I have many questions for you as well, but it will come later. So it's about specifically the influence of the tech. So I guess at HumoLab, but potentially also at Humo, on basically the business. So first question, as this investment you have made in HumoLab and basically in the tech development, in the tech transformation, has this led to reduce the price for the customer yet, or do you plan to reduce the price in the future thanks to this? And beyond the price, it's also about your operating costs. Are they decreasing? Did you save money thanks to that? And if they have, or have they increased? How do you see the difference? And then final question is are you, I have an answer to that obviously, but I will let you answer. Are you increasing your market reach? Are you addressing new segment of clients since you have introduced the tech and HumoLab into your services?
Very good questions. First of all, of course, we can talk about interest rate, and our interest rate really decreased. but still it is very high. It's very high. And when we started revising our business processes for providing loans, it allowed us to increase productivity of our loan officers. So increasing productivity brings decreasing of our operating cost. And yes, we can say that interest rate and operating cost decreased, and but at the same time, some products that we develop, they are like investment for future. For example, mobile wallet and mobile bank that we have, Humo Lab. This is, we can consider it like investment for future. As soon as our customers will be ready to use fully digital products, we already have this. That's why we divided functions of Humo Lab. First function is to improve efficiency and productivity of our current products. Another function is to make some investments in technologies for future. And I think those questions are related to each other. Did I miss something?
No, I think it's clear. I have
one additional question. Did we cover additional customers? Yes, we did it. And additional to traditional business, when we integrated with mobile network operator, we could cover their customers, and we launched a specific product based on USSD codes. So in those regions where we had poor internet connection or problems with smartphone, our customers could receive small loans by just USSD numbers, codes. And also we started agent banking project, which also covers those regions where we were not present at the time.
Thanks, Firdavs. Last question on Humo Lab, I guess, or Humo, is about the accuracy of the credit bureau information. You mentioned the credit bureau information. How accurate is this information, and how much can you use that in your credit assessment?
Information of credit bureau is very accurate, just because of there is requirement, law requirement to provide information to credit bureau. So all financial institutions must provide information on the customers to credit bureau. Whether they use or no, it depends from their policies or from their technical ability. But credit bureau have all information regarding customers.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a few questions for Taejun, and then I will go back again to Humo. And so those questions are really about Gojo moving to Tajikistan, and also Gojo expectation in terms of basically what kind of expectation we have from Gojo side with Humo joining Gojo. But also I will ask the same question from to Firdavs later, which is the expectation and the reasons for Humo to join Gojo. So maybe you can address this question, Taejun. There is another question which is related, which is about the added value proposition when working with Gojo. For a partner like Humo joining Gojo, what added value it has by joining Gojo as a group?
Yeah, thank you. So to tell you the truth, originally our focus was on Southeast Asia, and Africa. And we were thinking that we will enter Central Asia later. But Humo was so great that we couldn't pass. And that is how we started this relationship. So before making this final agreement, I visited Tajikistan in August, and I met with the team. I found many things. So some of them is like I would say the legacy of Soviet Union, in a sense, positive legacy. So very high literacy ratio in the region. In this Central Asian region, the literacy ratio is 99%, which is very, very high compared with the many developing nations. And traditionally, people are very strong on math, computer science. So these are the reasons why the new services, which are very rare in traditional microfinance, are blossoming in at Humo and in Tajikistan. And also in this region, Russian is still a lingua franca. Very few people speak English. And that means that major fintech players speaking English would not enter this region, and much less competition. So what we are expecting in Humo is that obviously Humo will be the leading fintech player in the region. They keep expanding financial inclusion. And also to be the leading player, not just in Tajikistan, but also in Central Asia. Humo started to plan to start a business in Uzbekistan, and I hope that that will be very successful. And eventually, we cover all the Central Asian nations with Humo. So that's our expectation.
Thanks, Taejun. Firdavs, maybe you want to take the other side of the question.
Yeah, let's start with reason and after that with expectations. So to be honest, we had negotiation with many companies who were interested to join Humo as shareholders. And when we get introduced to Gojo, and when we learned experience and goals of Gojo, we understood that we have the same missions and we have the same social goals. And many other companies which were interested in Humo, they were mainly thinking about how to make profit, how to buy shares and sell the shares more expensive after several years. But with Gojo, we are, first of all, we are talking about customers. We are talking about increasing financial services, increasing financial inclusion. And when I saw that Gojo plans to provide financial services to 100 million customers during the next 5 years, you know, it is the same things that we would like to do, and we would like to participate in this. And regarding our expectation is that Gojo have a lot of expertise team. They have experience in different countries. Also, partners of Gojo are also very strong. We learned investment of Gojo in different countries, and we understood that we can obtain necessary experience from Gojo, and also we can obtain some technical assistance. Also, it is supported by Deep Pocket, which is very important for our company. Thank you.
Thanks, Firdavs. So, Firdavs N, you will have the concluding word. We have a couple of questions that are really targeting you. So maybe the first question is a very concrete, pragmatic question, and it's about the delinquency rate in offline versus online loans. And I guess the question is, do we have higher rate of default in online loans than in offline? Most people usually expect this, and I'm sure they would be interested to get your answer and probably surprised. And so that's the first question. The second question you can address, and you can start, and I'm sure Firdavs M would complement, is about what are the key challenges you can see in the future for HumoLab, and if you have already plans to address those challenges.
Thank you very much for the different default rate about between the online loan and standard loans. Now, I can say that it's first of all, we started in last year, and we have some new experience. But now, default rate for standard loans, portfolio at risk for 30-day now loans. Now it's 0.75%, and for digital loans, it's more or less it's 0.1%. It's portfolio at risk has 30 days, and now at that time this portfolio at risk in online loan it's less. And about second question, it's about future the advantage for HumoLab. I think we now we do very good. We realize very good platform with digital ecosystem, and we must develop this. And one of the we must grow our culture. We must more deep learn our clients. It's more deep learn and research about our clients. It's more. I think that's all.
Thanks, Firdavs. And Firdavs, do you want to complement and conclude this part on the question?
Arnaud, could you please repeat the second question?
Second question, which by the way you can take more broadly, is what kind of challenges do you see ahead for Humo and HumoLab, and how do you plan to address those challenges?
First challenge is we have a deficit of specialists in our country. Yes, we have very high rate of education, but developers there is a high demand for developers. Even international companies enter into Tajikistan to hire developers. So this is the main challenge, and how we solve this. So we launch our digital academy, Humo Digital Academy, and we provide free of charge courses. We prepare developers, analytics, UX UI designers, product managers by ourselves. So currently we are involved in like social activity to work with students and with other people to make employees for our company and for the market of Tajikistan.
Thank you very much, Firdavs. So look, I know there are more questions. Some of you have already asked more questions on the Q&A. Unfortunately, we are going to move to, we are going to stop this panel discussion, but you can keep asking questions, because we are going to propose you to move to a direct Ask Me Anything session. We call it AMA, where you can basically join us in a separate Zoom room, and you will be directly interacting with us and discussing with us. It's not going to be chat question, but we can directly discuss. So Tapati, Suman, and I know a few more of you have asked questions. Please join us in the Ask Me Anything session in a minute. So I'm going to propose exactly you to answer this poll, so we know how many of you are joining us, and then we are going to share with you in a minute the link where you can join us. Maybe you can do that already, Rihanna. Also, last point, once this session is concluded, you will receive a survey, which is very useful for us if you can fill it, so that we understand how to improve in the future those webinars. Right, Rihanna, do you want to? Yeah, you've shared the session, so you can see in the discussion in the chat box the link. Panelists will stay with me for the moment, but please click on this link and you will join the AMA session.